Life's filled with trials and temptations. Sometimes we fail. Jesus was also faced with great tests, but he succeeded. Let's learn how Jesus battled temptations and won. Let's look at the testing of Christ in Matthew 4 verses 1 through 11. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. Jesus was tried. Did he love God with all his heart, soul, and strength? Jesus' responses come from the Shema Yisrael. The Greek word for tempted also means tested. Jesus was being tested after a preparatory time of fasting. Would he pass? The tempter came to him and said,
"If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread."
The tempter tries to incite Jesus to do his bidding. He should not need to lack food. His appetite is tested. Would he use his heavenly powers to satisfy the lusts of the flesh? Would he pass the test? Do we follow the tempter's untrustworthy words, or God the Father's? Jesus answered, "It's written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." This quote from Deuteronomy 8:3 tells us God fed ancient Israel so they would learn to be fed by him and not their own efforts. Jesus had the power to make bread from stones, but waited for his Father's timing to be revealed rather than follow the devil's timing. Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple.
"If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it's written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they'll lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone."
Would Jesus be tempted by the pride of life and take a foolish leap from a temple wing, perhaps 50 meters above the ground? How often do we take foolish chances without praying to do God's will? How often do we confuse a foolish jump with a spirit-led leap of faith? Jesus answered him, "It's also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test." Jesus wasn't fooled by someone twisting scripture. He quoted Deuteronomy 6:16, where Moses and Aaron had taken glory to themselves for a miracle instead of giving God the glory. Jesus only wants to bring glory to the Father. Do we trust God or our presumptuous self-will? Again the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor.
"All this I will give you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me."
This is not as subtle as the others. Would Jesus be tempted by worldly power? Satan rules this world. How many people have received great power from the devil? Who does God allow to rule today's world? Satan is the ruler, God of this world or age. We're not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, evil spirits. The world is under the sway of evil. The devil deceives the whole world. Jesus received all authority in heaven and on earth. We are rescued from the kingdom of darkness and transferred into God's eternal kingdom. Away from me, Satan, for it's written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Notice that Jesus substitutes the word fear from Deuteronomy with the word worship. The fear of God means worship. Jesus also calls Satan by name, the adversary. In passionately telling the devil to get behind him, Jesus reveals his total aversion to gaining worldly power through compromise with any evil. Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. 3 things test our love of God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. Life's great temptations are the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. False religion tempts us to misuse miracles, take foolish risks, and pursue materialism. It's easy for us all to do the right thing when people are watching. Temptation of Christ was a victory in the wilderness far away from watchful crowds. How faithful are we when we're alone? Jesus battled the devil's tactics and won. Can we learn from him? He skillfully used the Bible, he submitted to God, and told the devil to leave. God inspired James to teach us, submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you.